Hello, criminal justice enthusiasts, and welcome back to The Darkest Files. In the last episode, we got a new case. We are investigating the execution of a girl who was accused of looting. The witnesses haven't arrived yet, so I don't have too much information, but it definitely strikes me as she probably didn't do it, and somebody else put her up to it. So with that in mind, let's jump in here and see what we've got going on. They did replace our window, which, if you remember from the last episode, had
Yes,
been broken.
but I assure you, Mr. Volmut has your best uh, in your post box. But these people are all. Yes, I understand. I will tell Mr. Volmut.
All right. Not sure what's going on with that.
Is
Let's touch.
everything all right, Paula?
Yes, Miss Katz. Everything's. No, everything's not fine. That was a horrible call.
I can imagine. Do you want to talk about it?
I really shouldn't without talking to Mr. Volmut first. He'll hear soon enough. It was one of Mr. Volmut's witnesses. She wants out.
How important was this witness for Christoph's case?
It's going to be tough. He spent weeks prepping her. I won't be surprised if I find him sleeping in the office for the next couple of days.
Did she tell you why she wants out?
Same as always. Threats against her and her family. They even sent her photographs of her children. Monsters.
Does this happen often?
It feels like every other week. Most of the time we can convince them to stay on, but it is getting harder.
That's sort of crazy. But I'm willing to bet that happens in real cases even in today's society.
Don't let this grind you down, Paula.
I won't. Can't give them the satisfaction.
Alright, so we probably need to go check our files for the day and such. Yep, check my inbox. Should have my first interview coming in. And supposedly it's the person that was the quote-unquote victim. So that's something of importance here. First witness will arrive soon. Find out the names of the officers who arrested Anna Kaczmarek, Otto Wagner, and I found out the names of the... So, Otto Wagner and Klaus Nowak. I might know someone who could tell us more about them. Reached out. Alright, well that's good of her. Very helpful. Here's what I could find about Miss Kaczmarek's case so far.
An evidence form? Might be something worth looking into.
Officers were dispatched following the anonymous call from 20th October 1025. Anonymous call, interesting, which reported the suspect as a thief. Was reported as a thief. The caller alleged that Anna Kaczmarek was in possession of a stolen suitcase. At the temporary lodgings the suspect was staying at the time, the officers identified 4 people: Wolfgang Kirchmann, Heidi Grunwald, Amelia Becker, and the suspect herself, Anna Kaczmarek. So the boyfriend's name is Wolfgang, so that's good. To the facts revealed in the interviews, the charges against Anna Kaczmarek had to be elevated to those of treason against the nation. A suitcase was recovered from the suspect's room. Why was it elevated? Anna Kaczmarek has been admitted to a temporary holding cell to await trial. Note: following the delivery of the suspect, the junior watchmaster required the administration of first aid. Interesting. I don't think I read through all the documents I should have there, so yeah, we'll go to the case file here in a minute and look at it. East German armed groups marched through Berlin. Berlin SED combat units and armored vehicles moved through East Berlin claiming to liquidate counter-revolutionary elements. The armed workers' militia mobilized from state-owned enterprises conducted operation under People's Police Command. Western authorities view this display of force as a clear violation of Berlin's four-power status. The East German regime has provocatively replaced Soviet embassy guards with National People's Army soldiers, signaling growing militarization of the Soviet sector. NATO war game Black Lion simulates nuclear conflict. BONN NATO headquarters initiated its largest staff exercise, Black Lion, simulating a Soviet nuclear attack on West Germany. The scenario envisions devastating strikes on Frankfurt, Hamburg, and Cologne, followed by massive Soviet tank advances. NATO forces respond with automatic weapons, resulting in over 100 nuclear detonations across Central Europe. General Norstad emphasized that Europe's defense now relies heavily on nuclear deterrence. Well, that's not good. Yeah. My person
form?
here is here.
Miss Katz, Heidi Grunewald is waiting for you in the conference room.
Oh, so I didn't get the one that's the suspect yet.
Feeling that she doesn't like us very much.
Interesting.
Us? As in...
Lawyers, the state, the police.
Ah, well that makes sense.
Sounds like trouble. Thank you, Paula.
But yeah, she thinks we had her friend executed, which is understandable. Alright, old case. Let's see what else we got in this section. Yeah, we already read that one. We read that one. Report. Following Mr. Roth's in-depth investigation into the background of Anna Kazmarek, following has been established in regards to the nature and character of the condemned person. Anna Kazmarek is a weak-willed, impulsive, frivolous girl whom even the present time of need does not seem to have brought about a stronger sense of responsibility. She is described as lazy, precocious, and self-centered childhood. She had often been missing from work. She has been associating with criminals and individuals of lower character. These descriptions are even supported by her own mother, Teresa Kazmarek, who described her as naughty and irresponsible, I'm guessing is what it should say. I, Anna Kazmarek, of sound mind and body and full awareness. Alright, so this is her signing that she stole Amelia's suitcase. We have pictures of her here. The eye is definitely swollen there, so she took a beating. Alright, so that's all that's in there. Background, we have those pictures we saw before. And that we saw before. Ministerial Council of Defense of the Reich decrees the force of law. Plunder and evacuate heirs. Who plunders and evacuate heirs are involuntarily evacuated buildings or rooms is guilty of treason to the nation and will be punished with death. Crimes during air raids. Who commits a crime against the body, life, or property of a person affected by ongoing air raids will be punished with penitentiary up to life imprisonment and in especially grievous cases with death. Crimes endangering the community. Who commits arson or other crimes endangering the community and thereby damages the ability of German people to engage in national defense will be punished with death. Use of conditions of war as grounds to increase criminal penalties. Anyone who commits a crime under the special circumstances induced by the condition of war will be punished, overstepping the normal legal penalties with penitentiary of up to 15 years, with life imprisonment, or with the death penalty, in accordance with the requirements of the sound popular judgment or the need to especially repudiate the criminal act. So here's the one that we've got to worry about here. Who plunders in evacuated areas. Basically, we have to show that she didn't do it and that she was put to death because of something she didn't do. Suspects. Watchmaster, Junior Watchmaster. Alright, so that's good to know. This is the one we just read. Yep. Alright. Let's go interview our witness. See if Paula has anything to say.
What's Heidi Grunewald like, Paula?
Her chewing gum is very sticky for a start. I found it under the waiting table.
Oh.
And she asked why a pretty girl like me is working for the pigs.
How unpleasant. Why is she cooperating at all?
She said she's here for Anna.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Thank you, Paula. I better go and see Miss Grunewald.
Alright, let's go take care of this after we pet the cat.
I think I saw a mouse down in the archive. Interested?
Please tell me you're joking.
Mrs. Grunewald, good morning. Thank you for coming on such a short notice.
As if I had the choice.
Yeah, I mean, I could say voluntary testimony, but she's in a standoffish mood as it is. I want to remind her that she's doing this for her friend.
I wanted to talk to you about Anna Kazmirek. I believe you are acquainted?
Acquainted. Sure. What do you want to know? Other than her being innocent and you people having killed her?
Tell me about Anna's arrest.
Really? Sure you wouldn't rather talk about her heinous crimes? Tell me all about them? No? Alright. I bite.
Definitely bitter, but
It was
understandable.
the morning of... I don't know. A few days after the bombing.
October 20th.
Sure. If you say so. We were in the emergency shelter. Somehow we all got assigned to the same one. Call it good luck or bad luck. Your choice.
Alright, so we've got them over there. Just looking for anything else that glows. We have to find a lot of evidence this time. Alright.
What happened on that day?
We just come back from work with Anna. Graveyard shift at a munitions factory. For the glory of the fatherland. And all that.
What can you tell me about this shelter?
Pigs took some rich prick's house, robbed it of all valuables, and packed it full of homeless folk. We got 3 small rooms around the kitchen, one for each family.
She is charming, but I understand her
What did a
animosity.
regular day at the shelter look like?
There wasn't anything regular about that time. Not yet. We'd only been there for 3 days? 4? It wasn't that different from our lives before, really. Not for me. We were piss poor anyway. Wake up, pray there's water in the pipes. Go to your shift, return there tired, repeat.
What happened to you during the bombing?
To me? Not much. I was working a night shift. At first I didn't even hear the bombs over all the machinery. How in hell did those bastards manage to burn the entire city except for the munition factories is beyond me.
That is sort of ironic, I will say.
Who lived in the shelter at the time?
Me and mine, the Grunewalds, a total of 7 people at the time. The Kazmireks, Anna and her mother, and unfortunately, the Beckers. 5 of them, and 5 too many.
Alright, so she doesn't like the Beckers.
How were the tasks divided among the people in the shelter?
We were on rotation. Every day different tasks for each of the rooms. Food, cleaning, making sure there's enough water and firewood. Of course, we'd always get the most work, as my family was the biggest.
Tell me about the Beckers.
Butchers. Literally. They owned a family business for generations. A big point of pride for them. Up till a bomb fell right on it.
Tell me about the Kazmireks.
Good people. Both of them. Teresa's practically family now. We took her in after you people killed Anna. Without her daughter, she was all alone. But who cares? Right? You all got your dangerous criminal.
Yeah, she's very hateful, but I completely understand it. Just trying to see if there's anything else that's going to flash over in that direction. And there's so many pieces of evidence still to find.
Tell me about your family.
Interested in the little workers. That's a new one. We weren't affected by the bombing as bad as many others. Didn't have much to lose to start with. There were a few of us, luckily. So we were able to scrap by.
Alright, I think that's it in here. At least it looks like it. There's one on the wall.
What can you tell me about your family's situation before the bombing?
Nothing exciting. We were at another temporary place. Smaller than this one, actually. So that was an upgrade. It was more of the same. Surviving day to day. Just with less other people having to do the same. It was a shit time.
Yeah, I cannot really say I can even imagine it.
Did you salvage anything from your old home?
Everybody did. The morning after the bombing, we went there with my brothers. Took a few bags. Couldn't fit even half of them. There wasn't much to find.
I'm sort of getting the picture that Becker was upset about the fact that her family had lost their business and sort of her position in life, and so because of that she was bitter.
How would you describe your relationship with Miss Kazmarek?
Our relationship? Anna wasn't a dyke, if that's what you're getting at. She was like a sister to me. A better sister. One that I chose.
Interesting her use of that word, but as I said, I have my suspicions about my character herself, so who knows? I guess we will see. Looks like that's all for now. Yeah, let's go ahead and start.
We were in my family's room, trying to get at least some shut-eye, when I heard someone yapping at the phone. It was Emilia. Emilia Becker.
Yeah, that does not surprise me. As I said, she's my prime suspect of being the one who is behind this.
What was she saying?
I didn't catch all of it. Tried to block it out, actually. I just wanted to sleep. I got enough to understand. The cunt was talking to the police. Ratting on some terrible robbery. How could I have known it was about Anna?
Again, just checking to see if I find anything. Can't even go out the door, so guess we just continue.
Next thing I know, I'm woken up by someone's banging against the door.
Who was it?
Greeners! Two of the bastards. Diligently responding to a bullcrap call. And what a pair they made. A tall twig of an idiot and a four-eyed geezer with the dumbest mustache. You could smell the alcohol on that one from across the room.
Could you please describe them for me?
Creepy. That was my first and main impression. He was somewhat round. Not yet fat, but close to it. He had the most ridiculous facial hair, glasses, and he had this smile. This friendly smile. Constantly. Ugh. It was unnerving.
Could you please describe them for me?
He was way too tall, despite the constant hunch. It felt like he was trying to take up as little space as he could. Had the most punchable face I've seen in my life. Like a snooty baby that may start bawling at any moment. And he was clumsy. First he hit his head on the way in. Then he just kept dropping his notebook as they interviewed Anna.
Huh. Really surprised I haven't found any more things to note in my investigation yet, because we're getting through the interview here
Did
pretty
they say
quickly.
why they were there?
Sure. They were investigating a most serious crime and wanted to talk to Anna. Alone. Bastards invited themselves in before I could even say a word. And that would be when, using this mess as a distraction, Emilia planted the bloody thing.
Wow. Yeah, just as I had suspected. Again, nothing that I can see here.
I'll need you to explain what you mean.
Oh, for sure. The suitcase she accused Anna of stealing. The one she needed the pigs to find. She put it in Anna's room herself. Had to back her lie somehow, didn't she?
Thought I saw something flash.
And who are greeners?
Shupo, obviously. Green uniform, overcompensating hat, gun and nightstick in case they don't like your face. I suppose you people didn't call them that.
"17 more things to find." Alright, well, let's continue.
It was clear. They didn't want me present for their questioning. Fuckers had the nerve to pretend it was about Anna's privacy. I've expected they'd force me out right then and there.
So many things yet to find. Really isn't showing me a lot to begin with here.
And did they make you leave?
No. Somehow Anna managed to convince them it was fine. That she didn't mind me there.
What did they want to know?
They asked about the suitcase. You know, the same one Emilia was planting in Anna's room right there and then. Did I mention that already?
Yes, you did, Mrs. Grunewald.
I know I did. I'm not an idiot. Just make sure it's easy to hear on that tape of yours. The idiots were convinced Anna stole it. And no matter the truth, they wanted her to admit it.
As I said, still looking around, seeing if I can
What
find
did Anna
anything.
tell them?
To go fuck themselves. No. That's what she should have told them. But she just denied it. What a load of crap. All they had was Emilia's made-up story. And here they were, swinging their shriveled... That's what I told them. They didn't like it one bit. Next thing I know, Glasses pushes me out into the kitchen. Tells me to show him Anna's room. That's where she'd Hide the hall.
Wonder if she likes Wolfgang? Might be. That would somewhat make sense. Yeah, nothing else to click on.
Did you enter Anna's room with the officer?
No. I just told him where it was. He wouldn't let me go in. Didn't want me tampering. So I waited outside in the kitchen with Wolf and that rat, Amelia.
Do you remember what Wolf was doing?
Waiting, patiently. Naive idiot. He came for money, and it showed. Had no idea what any of this meant.
Didn't you say Emilia was in Anna's room?
Not anymore. She left her proof and came back before anyone could notice. She just stood there with that smirk of hers. She was behind it all. We all knew she hated Anna. But this? She was trying to get her killed.
Huh.
What can you tell me about Anna?
That you people killed her. But I might have mentioned that already. What is there to say? She was good people. Kind, funny, witty. And a know-it-all. So stubborn. Could be such a pain in the ass. Never knew when to shut up.
Definitely am hoping. Oh.
Were there any conflicts between the shelter's inhabitants?
Does a bear shit in the woods? The Beckers thought themselves better than everybody else, and made no secret of it. And everyone knew them for the shit-spewing assholes they were. And we were open about that as well. And Mrs. Housler in the other section, always listening at the door, up in everybody's business. Nosy hack.
She might be useful for my case, though. Alright. 15 more pieces still to go. Good lord. Let's continue, I guess.
Rick didn't need much time for his search. Emilia must have left it easy to find. Her eyes lit up as soon as he came out of the room, suitcase in hand.
Yeah, she is a real piece of garbage there, isn't she?
What did she do?
She told the pig the suitcase was hers. That the day after the bombing, she saw Anna take it from the ruins of her house. And for some reason, she insisted it constituted treason. Can you imagine? Even if Anna was guilty, which she wasn't, how would taking an old stinking suitcase be treason? That's just bullcrap. All of it.
Treason? One moment, I might have something about this.
Yeah, we do. Let's see here. This one. Yeah.
Right. If what Emilia said was true,
It wasn't.
then with Anna's crime being looting rather than stealing, the Folkspest law would indeed qualify it as treason.
How many times do I have to say this? Anna didn't do anything.
How did the officer react to all this?
He didn't even pretend to listen to anything Wolf and I said. But anything Emilia said, he ate it up. All of it. Every single word.
I'm gonna enjoy locking her in prison, I think. People who want to act like they're victims like that just disgust me.
What was in the suitcase? Can you describe it?
Beats me. I don't think I've ever seen it before. No idea where Emilia got it. It looked old, used, normal size, normal... It was a suitcase. It just looked like a suitcase.
What did the Kazmarex have with them?
There wasn't much. Let me think. Some salvaged clothes, fabrics, a few photos, documents, oh right, the cross. A big old thing. Iron. It was on Tessie's, back from the east. And the weird Madonna painting. Ugh, she used to give me the creeps.
Tell me about Teresa Kazmarek.
Aunt Tessie. Poor woman. Poor Anna. Alone with her on her head. Don't get me wrong, I love the woman. She can be an enormous pain in the ass. Not her fault. Mostly. She just needs so much help and constant attention. She's been sick non-stop ever since... Since I can remember, actually.
You said the Kazmarex were from somewhere east?
Aunt Tessie was born in East Prussia. Some small village in the middle of nowhere. That's Poland now. Majuria or something. She's quite happy about it. Not that she'll admit it. Always had a soft spot for anything Polish.
What can you tell me about the conflict between Miss Kazmarek and Emilia?
What there's to say? Becca was a cunt. She had conflicts with everybody. Well, everybody without a dick. And something about Anna seemed to really piss her off from the start. Wolf choosing her was just a cherry on top.
Yeah. The one word there she used to describe her had crossed my mind, but I wasn't going to say it. Glad she did, though, because definitely sounds like how this girl is.
What can you tell me about Wolf and Miss Kazmarek's relationship?
It's been going on for a few years already. They seem serious about it. As serious as you can be when you're 19. To be honest, I was never fully sold on Wolf being the right guy. But he did make Anna happy, so...
How did Miss Kazmarek come to know Mr. Hens?
She used to work for him. We both did before the factory draft. It was all legal, just pub work. Walter's a good man. Took us under his wing. We knew we could rely on him.
Was Anna's father somewhere around?
Not for a long time. He died when Anna was 4. Came west with Aunt Tessie, only to leave her alone with a 4-year-old. Don't really remember him myself. Just a photo of the 3 of them together.
Alright, so I got one more piece in here for now.
Mrs. Kronewald, I'm sorry, but I must ask. Is it possible Anna did take that suitcase?
Are you fucking... What? Just because she wasn't born to some gold-shitting lawyers, she's supposed to be a thief? She wasn't. She didn't. There's no possibility. No chance. Not premeditated, not by accident.
Alright, I tend to believe her. I think everything in there's done. Still have 6 more pieces that we gotta find. Hopefully we will find them out there, because that's not the end of the story. There, we're done in that room, evidently, so... This one's a little bit frustrating, because I do have to make sure I get the things when I need them.
At At that point, I knew we needed help. I knew a man. I thought he might be able to help. And Wolf had his uncle, so between the two of us.
This man you went to get help from.
I mean, this is the one where he says it, so I'm gonna go with this one.
Would it happen to be Walter Hens?
How do you... You've talked with him already, right?
He brought us this case.
I suppose that makes sense. Yes, it was him. Not that he could help in the end. So, I had Hans. And Wolf had his uncle, so between the two of us, I figured...
Please, continue.
I told Wolf to stall the fuckers. Keep them there. Myself, I went to get my men. I didn't even get down the stairs before it started.
Before what started?
Is it really that hard to guess? Anna's testimony. They tortured her, went in hard judging on the screams. It was... loud.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable to say the least. Okay, so we've got a couple things there we can do.
Is there anybody else who could have seen it?
I wasn't in the right space to check for that. Though, actually, I think I ran into one of my neighbors. Hausler. Old lady from across the hall. Yes, she even asked me, who are they taking? She was in another section on our floor. Such a nosy hack. Unbelievably good hearing for her age. She kept constant watch on everything that was happening.
Alright, so we'll definitely want to
And
interview
you just
her.
left?
Yes. Yes, I did. It was the only way I might still help.
That's understandable. That almost seems to be glowing, but it's not. I see something over in this room, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
How did Wolf and Emilia get along?
Too well. They actually used to be friends. If you'd believe that. Not that he'll admit it now. It was before he and Anna... Becker never quite forgave him that choice. The jealous cunt.
What can you tell me about Emilia?
She was a few years older. Not that you'd guess it, with how much of a brat she was. Always little Miss Goody Two-Shoes. Always the innocent. The poor, poor victim. In reality, she was a jealous, hateful bitch. A snitch. A liar and a snitch.
Well, if the prisons in Germany are anything like the ones in the US, when I'm done, she's gonna get hers. Because they do love their snitches in the prisons. I still need to find 4 more pieces. At least all the rooms are open, that's the good news.
Wolf's uncle? Why was that relevant?
It's not something he'd appreciate me talking about. Then again, he was happy to benefit from it. His uncle was in the Gestapo. Didn't have too shabby of a position. After all, he did pull his nephew from the front. I don't remember his name, but there couldn't have been that many Kirchmanns of the chain, right?
That could be something that is important to me later. Definitely not leaving yet. Can't go down the stairs. Can't check that or that.
Did Miss Kazmirek have any previous encounters with the police? Any criminal history?
No,
You sound awful sure.
I am. Anna didn't do none of that.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it, no. But I certainly heard it. And I saw the aftermath. They left the room trashed. It doesn't take a degree to understand what happened.
You're saying both of the officers beat her?
Yes, probably. I don't know. Can't imagine Agrina refusing the chance to raid on an unarmed girl.
That's pretty twisted. Alright, that's all the information, so let's go ahead and leave.
I did find Walter. Not that it mattered. By the time we came back, Anna was already gone. There. That's what happened. What really happened. Not that you care.
Now I'm gonna say I do care.
But I do care, Mrs. Grunewald.
Sure. I guess we'll see about that, right? I won't hold my breath.
It's understandable.
Is there anything else you'd like to mention? Anything else you saw?
No. By the time I got back, it was all over. They
Oh.
took her, and Emilia hid away in her room, scared of facing us after what she'd done.
I'm not even gonna say that, because I understand why she's hostile.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Grunewald.
I hope I don't regret it.
No, you won't if I have my choices. Alright. Yeah, let's talk to Paula, because
We have a name for the victim's boyfriend, Wolf Kirchmann.
Wolfgang, yes. He was very easy to find once I got the name. He's still in the military as it turns out. A Hauptmann. Seems to be involved with the rearmament effort. Oh, and I have some good news.
What's the good news?
Mrs. Kazmirek, Mrs. Hens, agreed to a date for her testimony. Tentative for now, but I hear she's been feeling better.
that is good.
I put her on the calendar. We should have enough time to interview one more witness before her.
Good. Thank you. He's involved in the rearmament?
Yes. After Anna's arrest, he was dispatched to the Eastern Front. Left even before she was executed. By that time, the front was close to collapsing. Just by surviving, he made quite a career with multiple field promotions. He's a Hauptmann now, supposed to help train new recruits for the Bundeswehr down in Bavaria.
Yeah, I don't really suspect him too much at this point.
Did you manage to contact him?
I've tried to reach out, but, well, the military is at best less than helpful. The message I got was politely worded, of course, but it comes down to us not being an important matter. I'm sorry, it'll take a bit longer to get him.
Alright.
I need you to invite the next witness.
Who should I reach out to?
I want Wolf. I really want Wolf. I want the boyfriend's position.
The victim's boyfriend, Wolf Kirchmann.
I tried to reach out to him, but unsuccessfully. He seems to be very busy with something to do with the rearmament. I'll need some more time for him, but I can get any of the other witnesses.
Alright. Let's start with the cops, because I want to leave her till the end.
Time to hear from the officers. Let's invite Otto Wagner.
On it. Anything else?
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
No, that is not true.
Miss Katz.
I need
I need
documents.
some additional documents.
Anything specific?
The report from Anna's arrest mentioned an evidence form, but...
It wasn't included.
Exactly.
I'll start looking.
Thank you.
There's a chance one of the neighbors could know something about what happened. I was given one surname, Hausler. Could you look if we can contact her?
There's not much to go on, but I can try. The shelter probably had some sort of list.
I need you to find out if there was any man named Kirchmann with a high position in the SS. He might have been contacted by one of our witnesses about Anna's situation.
A relative of our Mr. Kirchmann? I'll make sure to check it.
Another
Sounds
thing.
good.
About the note you left me today, you think you have someone who would know our police officers?
Yes, potentially. My husband, his whole family, really, are police officers. Him, his father, brother, uncle, grandfather. It's a tradition he's very proud of. Don't get me started.
I won't.
Thank you. Anyway, his brother actually lives and works in Brunswick. Brunswick, police officer. I figured I'd give it a shot and I wrote him a letter.
A little typo there. Should be shot, not shoot.
Thank you, Paula.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and end the day, I believe. Think we've got all the tasks done. Yep. So, if you enjoyed what I did in the video, please go ahead and click that like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon, so that way you know when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you. And I hope you're as excited for me for the next episode of The Darkest Files.